Night has fallen, and the moon is a glowing golden orb in the black sky. See how it shines on the dark back roads of America, and on one road in particular. Come with us, and we'll take a walk down the moonlit road and listen to bone-chilling tales told by some of the nation's best storytellers. Join us now and simply step out, for the night is waiting and the moon is full.
Bonjour, this is Tom Coleman. The story I'm going to tell you is called The Sharif and the Rougarou. Many years ago, before your grand-mères and grand-pères were even born, the most powerful man in Acadia Parish was Le Grand Sharif, the big sheriff. His gold badge showed everyone that he was the law of the land and he kept the peace. For a price. Now, you would think a man with that much power and that much wealth could have anything he wanted, but this Sharif could not have the one thing he truly desired, and that was the love of a très jolie femme, a very beautiful woman named Imogene. You see, Imogene was already taken by the handsome young Robert. Well, it just so happened that Robert worked for the Sharif. He worked in the stables, but he made it no secret that he too wanted to be a lawman one day. Well, every day the Sharif would watch that beautiful woman come to the stables to bring Robert his noon meal. And every day his heart broke a little more and got a little darker, until one day he could take the torture no more, and he came up with an evil plan to get rid of Robert. He went into the stables where Robert was sweeping one day, and he pretended to be alone and talked out loud as if he was talking to himself. And he said, "Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to handle this problem. It's too big. There's no man on my force who can do this job. If I could find one man in the parish, just one man that's strong enough and brave enough to complete this mission, well, I would make him a deputy on the spot." Well, of course, Robert heard this, and he couldn't hold his tongue no more. "Pardon-moi, mon Sharif. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying. You were looking for a strong, brave man, and, well, I know who can do it." "Who?" "C'est moi. Me." The sheriff scoffed. "Robert, you're just a stable hand." "Oh, no, mon Sharif. I'm stronger than 3 of your deputies put together, and I'm probably the bravest man in the parish." "After you, of course." "Well, of course." "Oh, Robert, if you truly wanted to be a deputy, you know you have to take an oath of loyalty." "Oh, I would do anything you asked me to do. Anything. Give me an assignment," Robert begged. The sheriff sighed and said, "Well, you are now my deputy. The people down in the Yellow Swamp, they are crying out to me for help. They are being terrorized. I need someone to go down there and give them relief. You, being my deputy, I need you to go to the Yellow Swamp this evening and capture and kill the Rougarou." Robert's hair stood on end. "Capture the Rougarou?" he thought to himself. "Can you even kill a werewolf?" Well, now, Robert knew what the old people would say. The Rougarou is more than just a werewolf. It's really an evil spirit covered with fur, with long fangs and sharp claws that could shred a man to ribbons in seconds. They say when the Rougarou is finished with you, all that will be left is your boots. Robert had already given his oath, so he said, I will take the special assignment." Then straight away he went to the blacksmith shop to get his knife sharpened. And while he was there, he asked the blacksmith, "Would you have a sack that's big enough and strong enough to hold, say, 5 bobcats?" The blacksmith looked at him and smiled and said, "I got a sack that's strong enough to hold a Rougarou." Oh, Robert saw it was perfect. It was made out of steel chains and had a heavy leather strap. It was just what he wanted. He took his knife and the sack and went home to tell his Imogene about his special assignment and to kiss her goodbye. When Imogene heard about this mission, she got very suspicious because she was smart as she was beautiful. She knew something was fishy because, for number one, she don't believe in no Rougarou, and number two, she knew that Sharif had been making sweet eyes at her for a long time, so she saw right through his plan. And right there on the spot, she came up with a plan of her own. She said, "Robert, I'm so proud of you. You can't imagine how happy I am, and I know that one day you will have a gold star too. But I need to tell you what I hear from our neighbors. They are saying that the Rougarou is coming into this village at night, and he's supposed to be here tonight." She said, "Maybe you should go and wait in the woods at the edge of the village, and when you see or hear it, you can capture it." Well, to Robert, the only thing that matched Imogene's beauty were her brains. "Oh, I'm so glad you told me, ma chérie. That's exactly what I will do." And he kissed her goodbye. And then she got busy. She sat down and wrote a letter and gave it to the little boy next door to bring it to the Sharif. And when the Sharif opened the letter, it read, "Oh, mon Sharif, I understand that my husband is on a special assignment, and I am so proud of him. But I'm also so afraid that I will be alone. Would it be possible for you to send one of your men to my house to keep me company for a few hours, and I would gladly pay them with a good supper?" Then she went to the smokehouse and got the biggest pork chop she had. Then she took a chili pepper, a Tabasco pepper, and a jalapeno pepper and smushed them all up into a little ball. She slid open that big pork chop and stuffed that pepper ball all the way against the bone. Then she put a pot of coffee on the stove, and in the pantry she got a burlap sack and a piece of twine and put them on a chair under the table. No sooner had the evening church bells rang than she heard footsteps on her front porch, then a loud knock on the door. The first thing she saw when she opened the door was a bright gold star. Oh yeah, it was the Sharif himself, just like she knew it would be. But she still feigned surprise. "Oh, mon Sharif, you came yourself. I'm so honored. Oh, please come into my house. Make yourself at home. Give me your hat. Take off your boots. Make yourself comfortable. Sit in the big chair there." She took his boots and placed them in front of the sofa, and then she handed him a big mug of muscadine wine. She sat on the floor, and they talked. And that big man was in heaven, because this is what he always wanted, the beautiful Imogene to be worshiping him at his feet. Finally she asked, "Are you hungry?" And before she knew it, he was at the table. Well, she brought out the pork chop and the rice and gravy, and she watched that big man eating that pork chop like a caveman with his hands. And he ate and ate and ate until he finally bit into that last piece of pork chop against the bone. He swallowed it and then stopped. His eyes started watering, his throat started to shrink, and from somewhere way down there came a fireball, and it just blew up in his head. He screamed, "Water! Water! I need some water!" She ran, grabbed his empty mug, then filled it up. He poured it down his throat. But it was full of the coffee that had been boiling on the stove all afternoon. The scream was so loud, it woke everyone in the village. He grabbed his throat, he fell to the floor, and that's when Imogene took that burlap sack and pulled it over his head, then tied that twine around his neck. He screamed, he yelled. She said, "There's water in the well right outside," and she ran and threw the front door open. Well, outside, all the villagers had gathered, wondering what all the noise was about. And when the Sharif ran out the porch, Imogene yelled, "Help me! The Rougarou is here!" Well, the villagers started screaming, "The Rougarou! The Rougarou!" And sure enough, Robert on the edge of town with his sack and his knife heard those cries. He said to himself, "Oh, that beautiful woman was right." He had barely taken a step when he saw a creature running from the village. "Oh, my God, it's a Rougarou!" Robert exclaimed. He ran up behind the creature and surprised it by throwing the sack on top of it, tightening that leather strap until it closed. It growled and fought, but the creature could not get out. Then he ran toward the crowd and saw they were in front of his house. He ran through the open doorway, and there was Imogene standing in the living room. She pointed to the sofa. Robert looked, and there was the sheriff's hat and his boots. Imogene said, "The Rougarou." Robert grimaced and said, "Then this creature must die." And he drew his knife, and she pleaded, "No, no, Robert. Bring that creature back to the yellow swamp where it comes from and set it free." Robert scoffed. "I cannot do that. If I open that sack, it will kill me." No, Robert, this creature will not kill you. I swear to you that this creature will know that it has been defeated, and it will never hurt us again. And that's what Robert did. He dragged that creature down to the yellow swamp with all the villagers applauding him and going back to their homes. And as Imogene turned to go back inside, she saw a movement from the corner of her eye. She looked. There was a creature coming around the side of her house on all fours. She saw its face, and her heart was filled with fear and dread. The creature with the gold star looked up at her and said hoarsely, "Water! I said I need water!" We hope you enjoyed this story from the Moonlit Road podcast. Please tell your friends, family, and complete strangers about us by rating and reviewing our podcast. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, now X, at The Moonlit Road. Visit our website, themoonlitroad.com, for many stories not on the podcast. This episode was written and told by me, Tom Coleman. Special thanks to KRVS Radio Acadie in Lafayette, Louisiana, for allowing us to record this story. Please visit their website at krvs.org. Additional audio production by Henry Howard. The Moonlit Road podcast is a production of The Moonlit Road, LLC. Merci.
That concludes this walk down the Moonlit Road. But you can always come back on your own. It will be here all year round, brimming with captivating and spooky tales for the whole family. The Moonlit Road can be found on the World Wide Web at www.themoonlitroad.com. The stories are always chilling, and the moon is always full. On the Moonlit Road.